everyone. Can you guys hear me all right? Morning, good morning. Just doing a quick audio check here. Audio and video good? Okay.
Hey, good morning.
Hey Steve, how are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good.
Cool. Man, what's up with the Alex and Steve indicator from APVO
Bro, I'm gonna
yesterday?
talk about that. You guys see that APVO, man? Down 50% after me and Steven covered. 50%. That was gonna be the first thing I talk about today, dude.
Yeah, I woke up and I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, Andrew alerted his group chat.
That's why Andrew took the day off. Andrew. Hard to predict this stuff.
Morning, good morning.
Good morning or not. Edward.
So we have a few minutes and then we will start here, guys. Hope everyone's doing well today. So we have a lot of stuff to talk about today, guys. So once we get started here around 9:05, we will talk about everything. Hey Kyle, hey Joe. Way too many stocks in play, dude. Way too many stocks in play today. It's crazy. So we'll give it until 9:05 and then we'll get started here, guys. Oh man. Farmer is the name of a chat room pumper. So whenever we mention that, it means that there is a chat room pumper on the stock, which means not a normal organic move. Morning, good morning. So I'm going to give it another minute, guys, waiting for everyone to get in here, and then we're going to get started on today's trading.
And you guys hear like a echo when I speak? Wondering if my mic is okay.
I do not. Okay.
No problem. Somebody said it didn't sound good, but just checking. I've always got a different setup, so I never know what's going on.
So I'm just going to start a little bit early here today, Steve, because there's a lot of ground to cover. So let's get started. So
Let's do it.
morning, everyone. Welcome back to live trading. If this is your first time on live trading, welcome. We use the webinars channel in Slack to communicate. We do this every day for MIC members. We talk about the watch list. We build the watch list, talk about what's working in the market, what's not working in the market. And then at 9:30 a.m., we trade live. So I'm pretty sure we're probably at like a year and a half or 2 years that I've been doing this, which is kind of crazy because I don't know where the hell the time is going. But, you know, I feel like this is the single best way to learn how to trade. Now, you see the good, you see the bad, and you definitely see the ugly. So, you know, what we try to do here is we just try to keep it real. I don't think that I'm the best. I don't say that I'm the best. I'm just doing my part to trade and just pretending that no one is really watching. So let's talk about yesterday. Yesterday was APVO. So yesterday I ended up making, where is this? Yesterday I ended up making $1,900 on APVO. You can see it right here, $1,900. And I ended up kind of trading it somewhere around here, and I ended up getting out, you know, on the 120s, and then I ended up walking away for the day. What ended up happening is obviously as soon as I get out, as soon as Steven gets out, they have an offering and the stock craters 50%. So the reason why I thought that this was a good trade yesterday is because it was a stock that not many people were paying attention to. It was a stock that not many people cared about. So for me, whenever I'm trying to short these names, guys, I think there's a fallacy in shorting that you have to always short the stock that's up the most on the day, up the most on the day, up the most on the day, and then you get a stock like UPXI that just kept going up and 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 up, right? So whenever I'm trying to trade, whenever I'm trying to short, you know, it is very rare that I am trading the stock that's up the most on the day or the hottest stock of the day or the main runner of the day. I'm mostly focused on the stocks that are forgotten, the stocks that people don't care about, the stocks that aren't really getting much attention. So when I traded APVO yesterday, it was a stock that was kind of moving and kind of bouncing while UPXI was running, while MLGO was running, while XYZ was running, right? So that gave me a little bit of confidence to trade it. And now, you know, I'm not trying to, you know, make 100 grand every day. I'm not trying to make $1 million every day. Don't get me wrong. I would love to, but the way that you dictate how much money you make in the markets is simply based on the opportunities in front of you. You know, I would love to make 100 grand every day, but if there's no 100 grand opportunity every day, then I have to take what I can get. The problems occur when you try to force those massive days on days that really do not warrant it, okay? So for me, I'm showing up to the market and I'm trading. You know, most of the time, I don't know what to expect. You know, I don't know if it's going to be a good day. I don't know if it's going to be a bad day. I don't know if it's going to be a horrendous day. I don't know if it's going to be the best day ever, which is kind of good, kind of bad, because there's so much uncertainty, but it all depends on what is moving in the market on that day. So what did I do right? What did I do wrong? And how can I improve yesterday? What did I do right? APVO, the stock selection was great. What did I do wrong? Maybe I could have been a little bit more patient. You know, what can I do better is recognize that the process is working very, very well in this cycle. Focus on the names that are forgotten, focus on the names that people don't care about, and you will be heavily rewarded. Also, I was very happy on this HTZ yesterday that I made a plan, and my plan was, to short if it got to 750. It did end up getting to 750, but not on my ideal time frame, so I left it alone. So, you know, this could have also been a pretty solid trade. This could have been a pretty solid opportunity, but because it didn't fit my ideal time frame for a trade, I didn't take it. So good thing I didn't take it because it ended up going higher, right? So that's number one. Number two is let's talk about the overall market. The overall market is extraordinarily unhealthy, right? Extraordinarily unhealthy. Everything just keeps going down and down and down and down. You know, you have some of the biggest mega cap names like Microsoft, you know, getting smoked. You have names like Meta getting smoked. You have names like, I don't know, Google getting smoked. So everything's getting smoked. And you ask yourself, why the hell is this happening? Well, when President Trump announced that there's going to be a pause on the tariffs, everyone got really, really excited. That was on this day, this ginormous candle. Everyone got really, really excited because he said that he would do a 90-day pause on these tariffs to start to make deals with other countries. Well, it's been a week and a half, and there's no deals, right? What the hell are the deals? So that's number one. Number two is gold is going crazy. When the hell is the last time you saw gold make a parabolic move like this, guys? Gold is up massive, right? Massive. What is this? 240 to 316. What the hell is that? 240, 316. You know, gold is up massive, 25% on the year. When the hell's the last time you saw gold go up 25% on the year? And then you look at treasury bonds, right? So treasuries are going freaking, the yields are going nuts as well. So the market's broken. That's the easiest way to say it. And then on top of that, you got fucking Bitcoin going to 90,000 today, right? Everyone's putting their money into Bitcoin. So the market is broken, right? And you know, and when I say the market is broken, I mean that there's just so much uncertainty out there that no one knows what the hell is going on, right? So in my opinion, President Trump needs to come out and start making some deals ASAP. It doesn't matter who he makes a deal with. It doesn't matter what the hell the deal is. There just needs to be some positive news flow coming into the market because the market is so uncertain. They're like, what the hell is going on here, right? So I don't know, but we're going to have to wait and see. So the large cap markets are in the shitter. But then all of a sudden you see stocks like UPXI going up 1,000% in a day. So my assumption here, guys, is that because the large cap stocks are so in the garbage, a lot of these traders that normally trade large cap stocks, a lot of these algos that are primarily focused on large cap stocks are entering the small cap market to be able to make some extra money. So I think that's why we're getting a lot of these extraordinarily extreme crazy moves on the small caps like UPXI is simply because there's more participants on the small cap side because the large cap side has been so shit lately, right? So you see a stock like UPXI go from 2 to 22, and then that gets people excited. So you know how we always talk about sector plays and sympathy plays and all that stuff? Well, not always does it have to be the same sector for these stocks to go crazy. For example, let's say if it's a pharmaceutical company that goes crazy, that doesn't mean that it's going to be another pharmaceutical company that goes crazy. You know, oftentimes it may be a stock in a similar price range. It may be a stock, you know, in a similar float. So if you look at UPXI, it was a stock that was around $2 to $3 that ended up going to $22. Look at TIVC. It's a stock that's around $3 that ended up going to $13. So what ends up happening, guys, is after a move like UPXI happens, everyone's like, oh my God, this stock just went up 1,000%. I have to buy the next one. I don't care what it is. I got to buy it because it's going to go up 1,000%. I don't want to miss it. And oftentimes, those secondary runners don't end up running as aggressively as the primary one. So first it started with UPXI, and then it went to MLGO. MLGO went up, and it kind of came back down. After MLGO, it went to SBEV. SBEV went from 4 to 18 and back down. Now it's kind of going to TIVC, right? And then we saw OBLG pre-market. So as each runner tries to run, we start to recognize that the runs get weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker. So for me, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for the stocks that people are like, oh my God, this is the next UPXI. Oh my God, this is the next major runner. I have to buy it. I have to buy it. I have to buy it. And then it ends up falling on its face like SBEV. It ends up falling on its face like OBLG. It ends up maybe eventually falling on its face like TIVC. So understanding that the moves that we're seeing right now are simply based on, you know, hype. No one wants to miss the next runner. No one wants to miss the next crazy trade. No one wants to miss the next 1,000% runner. And what ends up happening is they end up buying it and falling on their faces. So that's kind of the main thing to kind of keep in mind is that although the large cap markets are down, a lot of participation is flowing into small cap markets, which is great. We will start to need to see some trade deals happening to ease some tensions off the overall markets and the overall indexes. And aside from that, large cap earnings week this week and next week. So all the big boys report this week and next week. So I'm sure that'll have some volatility to the market. In my opinion, the earnings will not matter this cycle. I don't think that's going to be important. I think all that matters this cycle for the next few months is whether deals are being made or not, right? So, yeah, that's pretty much my thought process on everything. And now let's get into building the watch list. So, let's do it. So the way that we build a watch list, we always go to the previous day's watch list first and build from there. So let's start. So TGL. So TGL, no volume, no range, nothing there. CHRO, no volume, no range. HTZ, yeah, I mean, can you make an argument for this HTZ? Probably. Do I really like it? Not really. I don't really think that there's much of an edge on it anymore, so probably going to ignore that. UPXI. UPXI, major runner yesterday. I mean, it would need a major rebound. I mean, I'm talking like, shit, maybe like $12, right? So previous support. So I would say call it $12, $13, you know, and maybe $15. So UPXI, this would need a major bounce for me to get involved on the short side. Ideally 12, 13, and 15 lines to scale in short. MLGO. MLGO, you know, ended up pushing up yesterday, came back down. If we get a bounce today, I might be interested in it. So I'll be watching kind of towards that pre-market area, probably 1350, you know, 1450 and 1550 to keep it safe. MLGO, 1350, 1450, 1550 lines to scale in short. What else is there? So that was yesterday. Let's see what Tom's got on his list today. IBIO. Not really interested. OBIO. Let's see. What's the float on this? OBIO. 1 second. OBIO. Not bad. So maybe 1370, $4 and 420. OBIO. 1370, 420 lines to short. WNW. WNW, this is a little bit risky because this is a Chinese name. So is MLGO, but MLGO already made its kind of crazy move. So be very careful here on this WNW Chinese name. Could be heavily manipulated. So I'll be waiting on that. WNW Chinese name may be heavily manipulated. So we'll wait for more information first. What else is out there? GELS. GLS, big move. You know, these are a lot of these. We have to kind of wait to see how they trade out. You know, you could make an argument to short the bounce in the fives, but, you know, I'd kind of wait for more information on this first. You know, maybe 520, 550, but, you know, GLS, maybe a bounce too short, but I would rather let it bounce first. Let it have a death candle. And then look to join the trend. So that's kind of what I'm looking there. I'm just looking to join the trend rather than guessing where the trend is going to go. TIVC, new runner. I think honestly this will probably be a lot safer to short under 850. So I'll just put that there. TIVC, new runner. Ignoring unless 850 support breaks. And even then has tons of room to the downside. What else is out there? SBEV. SBEV, people tried, I guess, to pump this up yesterday as the next big runner. Ended up failing. You can see that there's a lot of resistance around here in the 1050, 11 mark. So I would say 11, 1250, and 14 to short. So SBEV, 11, 1250, 14 lines to short. What else is out there? OBLG. Looking like a potential new runner. So same thing on the other ones. Wait for more information on this one because it could either pop and drop or pop and continue. So OBLG will wait for more information. Waiting for more information. Either a pop and drop or reclaim of VWAP, reclaim of VWAP and squeeze. So mostly waiting for more info. And this is not really a main trade for us, but gold GLD has been kind of on a parabolic move. I think it's setting up for a potential first red day setup, but this is really not our bread and butter. I mean, I'm not a gold expert. I don't know how the hell to trade gold. I'm just looking at the pattern. So gold may be setting up for a potential first red day setup. And that's pretty much it. So that's kind of my main watches today. Going to be watching the stocks that are forgotten. Going to be watching the stocks that people don't care about. Hopefully we get some nice moves. And that's pretty much it. So I'm just going to be sticking to the process. I'm going to be respecting the process. The process has been yielding some great results lately. Yes, I'm not making the most money out of anyone, but I am most certainly being disciplined, and it's adding up slowly but surely. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, I mean, I guess I'll pass the baton over to Steven here, and I'll let him take it from here. So Steven, the floor is yours, my friend.
Great stuff. So yeah, first of all, if you guys haven't watched the new YouTube video that Alex just posted, he posted it in webinars. Definitely check it out. I watched it this morning and I thought it was really good, a lot of fun, and informative. So what I want to kind of talk about today is, we have a lot of members who we're kind of sometimes a victim of our own success, right? We have a lot of members who do really well, and sometimes they do really well. They don't need us anymore. They leave. Sometimes they stick around. Sometimes they become moderators. So when I hear a lot of stories like this, I got a DM a couple weeks ago from somebody I consider a friend, who I was able to hang out with a lot when I was in Europe, and he's doing really well. He's not a member anymore, but he's working at a firm now, and he's one of the head traders. And he says he's, teaching everybody based on what he learned here at MIC. So I think these stories are really great to hear, and I love to hear these stories. And besides just hearing it, I like to talk to them and try to understand, like, you know, uh, what that kind of key component was to giving them their success, what they might have done differently than others, just so that I could learn from it, I could try to share it, and other members can hopefully learn from it. What I find is a lot of times, and I've seen this a lot, is somebody's been trading a while and they're right on the verge of a big breakthrough, right? And it could just be some little tweak. It could be, a lot of times it's something like the discipline workshop where, there's proper planning involved and proper risk management. That's a big part of it. But sometimes it's like just changing one little thing, or looking at things differently, or utilizing some of the resources that they might not have been utilizing in MIC. So I like to talk to these people and see what worked for them, and then do my best to share it with you guys. So a couple days ago, Bao got a really great DM from a member who's been around a while. His name is Tom Hart. And I just posted his DM to Bao. And basically what he said was that he's on his 5th year, and he's been able to make enough with MIC, not only in new income, but also savings, to where he wanted to quit his pretty well-paying job as an e-commerce director and focus on trading, without worrying about the money and all that kind of stuff. So he just said, without, MIC and Bao, it wouldn't have been possible. So I thought this was a really great story, not, too different than a lot of stories I hear often. So I reached out to Tom and we had a chat yesterday. So I thought I'd just share kind of what we talked about, and some of the things that helped him, and, see if maybe there's something that you guys might be able to learn from it as well. So I'm going to post my notes here, and then I'm going to kind of read through them. And yeah, if you guys have anything to add, I think it was he had a lot of really good points. So feel free to chime in. And then when I get through it, I'll read through your comments and questions. So my chat with Tom, and what's helped him the most, and his advice for anyone new or struggling. So, as mentioned before, Tom recently left his well-paying job. Now he's trading full-time. Tom's been trading with MIC for going on 5 years. During that time, he was able to put enough into his savings and consistently make more than his day job. So I asked him some questions, and here's the results. Tom saw consistency after 8 months with MIC. He started with a 5K account, and within his first year, he was able to grow it into 36K. Tom shorts generally day one broken stocks 95% of the time. He goes long once in a while, only when it's really obvious. That's been pretty much his bread and butter. What Tom says helped him find consistency. Basically, he listed several things, having a process. And these are interesting to read and to hear from him, because when I talk to other traders, and if you guys just go back and search today's topic from, I think it was Friday, but I had a similar talk with Pern, and he mentioned a lot of the same points, having a process, having a plan. So Tom goes on to say, the video library, daily help from moderators and members in main chat, and a lot of high quality content from Bao and Alex. So, I see a lot of newer members, and they think that there's some magic secret code and, some script or, whatever alert system. The truth is putting in some work, learning our system, video library, we hear time and time again, having a process, obviously having plans, and just being active in the live trades, main chat, etc. We'll get you there. You just need a little bit of time. So I asked Tom what was his advice for struggling traders, and he said, don't give up, stick to it, and it takes more work and more time than expected at first, but it'll be worth it. Some things that I kind of talked with Tom about that I didn't write down, but I asked him, hey, because I also, was in a similar situation where I quit my job several years ago, but I understood that when you quit an 8 to 10 hour day job, and now you've only got a couple hours a day where you need to work. Basically, trading with MIC only takes an hour or so, maybe an hour of prep, right? Depending on your style. You got a lot of free time in the day. So I asked Tom, hey, what are you planning to do with all your free time? And he said he's going to work on kind of some script and coding type stuff, and he's just freed up to pursue other activities. Generally, as a rule, I always warn people that when you quit your day job and you trade full time, trading becomes a lot harder. So if you could do this in an hour a day, there's really not a lot of reason to quit your day job. I recommend taking all the income you can, but sometimes people have something that they really want to pursue, or it just seems like it's the right time. So not highlighting the story because Tom quit his job. I'm highlighting the story because Tom has seen a lot of success. He was able to replace his income from his well-paying job, and he's been doing it consistently for years, and he's shared what helped him get there, and it's nothing secret. It's just the basics of being with MIC and following the process and learning daily from mods in the video library. So that's all I got from Tom. I really appreciate, Tom, if you're listening, you taking the time to chat with me. I think this is really helpful, and I hope that some of you guys can learn from it. And yeah, it looks like you guys don't have any comments or questions. So yeah, huge congrats to Tom. And we got about 2 minutes left, so I'll hand it back over to Alex. Thanks, guys.
Cool. No, I definitely agree. I mean, some jobs give you healthcare, they give you dental, they give you 401k. So I would recommend not quitting your job and just using this to supplement your income.
Agree.
And congrats to Tom. And Tom is just one of the many stories that we have here. So I guess we'll wrap up the YouTube stream here. Steven, you want to let them know how to contact you?
Sure thing. So if you guys have any questions about anything at all, or if you want to sign up for the live trades, feel free to email me at stevenrh1@myinvestingclub.com, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you guys have.
Cool. Thanks, guys. And we'll start the live trading for MIC members right now.